Team Liquid. Lineup for Team Liquid. Merlini, who's the player to watch? And the draft will be beginning now.
Their options makes drafting a little bit easier, makes you look a little smarter than you actually are.
Yeah.
That being said, Kuroky's had some disappointing TIs in recent years, so who's to say?
I think this could be the year that he starts for sure.
And they got to pick their opponents, and I think they, getting IG in the winner bracket to guarantee like a top 6 play.
Not really shown up too much.
That's the Baboka special. That's his hero. He invented that hero. He arguably put OG in the lower bracket with that hero.
So at this point, how would you describe just the qualities of these?
Yeah, but how has Team Liquid been doing with him?
Team Liquid is not one of the lowest win rate teams at TI, Peter.
Ah, well, there we have it. And grabbing somebody, all division in the world to hopefully get a good selection. And
Problem
not
here
have
is
to
that they also pick their 2 support heroes, so they can't really fill in an Oracle or Venge or any other hero that can stop it.
Initiating. There's like no way that Night Stalker, Lycan, and Bat aren't going to be able to get the jump on this team. Like Tusk and Visage aren't very, these heroes aren't very good at protecting their supports. Like you can stand in front, but you can't actually do anything about it.
And how would Team Liquid want to try to overcome that in their last 2 picks?
I think have a really strong team fight. Like get a pipe and pick.
It's a lot of damage. No team fight. I would really worry.
Kuroky once again, his team centered around him.
GH still has a smile after that game. It was just day 1. To lose, they say, hey, you did an awful job of dealing with Alchemist last game. Maybe you can do a little bit better this time.
Usually he's not that good to pick in the first 2, like most teams don't, because then it gives him, like the opponents, actually 3 picks to counter the hero. But Liquid actually picks the Coddle this time, which is a comfort pick for GH, and the Bristleback as well, which is a very good partner with it.
Oh, they actually did go for AA. I thought maybe they wouldn't go for AA since they already had Coddle. It's kind of a weird support duo.
Yeah.
It's so good versus Elk, though.
Yeah, but it's pretty far from what we've seen throughout the rest of the tournament. There's also a Bristleback, so I'm kind of wondering what these next 2 heroes are going to be. Are they going to have a little bit more catch? Once again, we have a Team Liquid lineup with no disables.
They might just get like Sven or something with the AA on the safe lane to make sure that
Sven.
The cold feet
Yes.
wears off. But
I like that. Sven Coddle AA. It's a solid tri-lane. And Sven destroys.
And also
Lycan.
that they can put Bristol and Coddle off lane and AA plus one safe lane.
So would that be a Miracle Sven, you think?
It could be.
He's been kind of playing like the 1.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've been talking a little bit about Team Liquid's
last year at TI6.
Oh, really?
I started playing. Well, I started playing Ench and Chen a little bit because I saw, I think it was Na'Vi who was doing really well right before TI, and they were crushing it with art style playing Chen and Ench, and it's because these 2 supports have no way to deal with the creep that Ench or Chen brings to the lane.
That's a like really trigger point when you want to pick Ench. When you
exactly,
see these,
you can take Ench can go to any lane at this point with a creep, and Liquid can't really do anything about it except get out of his way.
Yeah,
I'm in lane, and maybe Ricky and Lich can help them, but I don't know how much help Ricky's going to be versus any of these heroes. Maybe Ricky...
Support-wise, Ricky is good against Keeper of the Light and AA. They don't really want to fight Ricky as well, but I think they're going to stay close to their cores, so Ricky won't really find them in the jungle.
So we've talked a little bit about some of these specific lane matchups and the concerns. What about just big game-wide strategy?
Hopefully, Liquid's initiator is. These heroes really need somebody to lock somebody down in order for them to connect on their damage.
Sand King, again, we're seeing some hints of similar wishes, get lots of farm this game, and secondarily want to make sure that Lycan doesn't get dumpstered in his early game laning. So it's really going to be a lot about how these supports get allocated in order to protect those 2 big goals in the early game. For Team Liquid, their last picks coming in now. Monkey King.
Miracle Monkey King, man. There it is.
Armor is king.
Okay.
Ursa, and they're gonna like just hope that they can find the Alchemist and kill him, but it's gonna be hard since they have Ricky and Lycan to scout, so.
It's almost as though their primary goal is just to not let IG.
That sometimes gold isn't everything. Just because you got Greevo Greed, just because you're farming well, the pressure from Team Liquid, that GH Aghanim Scepter was so key.
What a resilient...
I thought they were going to win.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty critical to note that every time Baboka did die, he was deep into the enemy jungle with multiple here. I feel like some of the big themes of the match was Ursa is really good against Alchemist, and we finally got to see farm on Bristleback. The previous draft, it seemed like IG had these four heroes, but IG just looked so dominant, and I'm very curious to see who's going to get the edge in game 3.
Do you guys both agree that first pick is more important than side?
I don't think so.
In this game.
To play with a good team like half a year ago when he joined Liquid, he wasn't on any like big teams before that.
I'm curious to see who's going to take the first step into having some vision. One strategy to play around a team that's building around teamfight is to have the vision to have the information to either fight your opponent's poker for Liquid. I think it's like the perfect hero. I think you pick this Slardar and this Void who are so anti-BKB. Nobody on IG is going to want to buy a BKB to make the magic immune because of all the physical damage that Slardar allows your team to have. And putting Invoker there, Invokers are oftentimes going to give them some nice burst to kill the Void. Slardar too. Takes a ton of burst damage from Lina, especially if he's got Sprint active.
Does seem like Invictus Gaming's biggest problem, as you've highlighted, is the vision. There's not any clear character that can step forward and
It's
stop.
tough to take
TA, I suppose.
Yes.
And then I would say get mid off to a good start. If it's Lone Druid versus Lina, it's going to be a wash. But if it's a weak, someone like a weak laner that they can take advantage of, I think like TA they could actually take advantage of with their Spirit, then it's a snowball OP. They could also pick like Jug. Jug's also, I think, pretty safe here. I think he wants magic immunity. He's pretty good versus Shaker, Disruptor, Spirit, Lina.
Probably see Shadow Blades from both Lina and Shaker at some point throughout this game, and that's going to be really important to find pickoffs on Team Liquid, because right now I think in a 5-on-5 setting, I think Liquid has a pretty major advantage, especially once they get BKBs.
So at this point, Team Liquid, you'll note IG actually was almost out of reserve time, but Team Liquid has been pretty scrappy with their time management up to this point. Been talking a lot about the Invoker pick for Miracle, but of course that was the last ban for Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, you want something that's going to match up well against this Lina. I'm not totally
The benefits of having last pick now, that they can actually use the time to pick something that's good against Lina, and they're gonna know that the Earth Spirit is probably gonna be around mid as well, rolling in.
Who do you think are some absolute bad picks for Team Liquid? Oh, never mind. We have an Ember Spirit, used to be on the same team. Coming out first, but used to be on the same team. What kind of captain has Kuroky become?
He's forging his own destiny every day.
Thank you. I love the inspiring quotes.
I mean, you got to take charge. You know, if you want something, you got to get out there and take it.
I mean, his philosophy, like, it's become more and more just, I want players who are really good, and like, obviously he's looking for high MMR players.
Of course.
And then, like, I want you guys to do what you do, and I'm gonna captain.
He's
like
going to facilitate their strengths.
Exactly. That's what
a good captain does. He looks at all of his players and he says, "What are you guys good at?"
Yeah. I mean, but some players, like some captains, you know, they want that, you know, a second guy. Like, they're okay, he's a little worse, but he contributes something else.
What about Eternal Envy? How does he captain?
How does he captain?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
A little backup to have.
It's like the opposite of LFY, pretty much.
oh, all right. How many have they played? What's the difference there? They play like 3 heroes of an underrated 4 right now. And then like the Spirit Breaker is because it's supposedly good against Coddle. But I don't know, when GH plays at Coddle,
It's like a different hero.
it just seems to work out every time, right? I don't know.
Yeah. I imagine
Strong win at yesterday, but when he doesn't have farm, he's almost like a dud hero. Doesn't even exist in a lot of the fights.
Yeah, but with the Coddle in combination in lane, it's pretty difficult to shut down the Bristleback, so I imagine he would have a pretty decent laning phase.
I actually thought about this Necro though, because this is something I remember their counter to it is the Necrophos, because you build up so many wands against this hero, this Bristleback, and just you don't think that they like the Diffusal Ursa against the Necro though?
That was what I
right?
was going to say. The Diffusal is a really great item on Ursa, and you can pick that up quickly to dispel the ethereal form from Necrophos.
Yeah, I'm curious to see here what the...
Good throughout the game. They could easily lift.
Okay.
It's nice.
No, they're doing...
that is the Necro or Queen of Pain offlane for KZU. So.
Slaughtered them with that Spirit Breaker.
Do you think this is the draft word?
For no phase shift, the timing was also great. Like, you have to credit Secret's execution here. They would always time that lift to ensure the charge hits. And that combo did...
If you will, against the Pug was a big part of it. Miracle struggling in the lane. I think he was 1-4 in the laning stage, 0-4. I don't know what the score was.
You know, Puck has some disable, but not a ton. They're just really stunless lineups.
Yeah, but that's why I think this Coddle Bristle opening is a bit tough for them. Like, opening those two heroes, neither of those heroes have a stun. People have kind of figured out this Coddle Bristle. You know, you don't want to put this weak trial in against it that struggles and you don't get those kills. When you just put this Necrophos down there, you're fine.
Player's last match on that team.
Yep.
You know, you finished 12th at TI, you're probably making some changes. You don't know where you might be next season.
It's also like a lot of emotional turmoil, the idea of going into a match saying, hey guys, it's okay, don't worry about it, totally fine.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but I do think it is really important. Oh.
And of course, the ban on both Coddle and Wisp.
They seem to do this Witch Doctor first pick when they expect the.
Let's make sure we have great push with Lycan not going for right-click builds, but instead favoring the Necronomicon.
Yeah, this is what we saw IG beat Liquid with. They went for the Night Stalker Lycan, and we've seen it, like you said, multiple times. Yeah, they did. They had very good execution. I like the Bat Rider. He can perform on that hero as well.
He's played it a little bit this tournament, and it is a hero that he can be active and have an impact into the Witch Doctor. You know, we talked. Day9 was talking about the Necronomicon making a comeback on this hero, but that cask, the paralyzing cask, stuns those summons for quite a long time.
Yeah.
It goes both the ways, though. I feel like,
and that's a sign of a true drafter or a good drafter. And at TI, it's very, very important.
They're alone. He's gonna get a little bit of stuff, and you're trading 2 heroes for 1.
Is there any chance they put the Lycan in a different lane, say mid or something? Put that Snake Man up there, Venomancer?
Depends on, especially when CK gets up to having like a heart, like that Venomancer ult is just going to tickle him.
No, they don't have much lane push either, right?
0 stuns so far, once again from Team Liquid, which, look over here, we have 4 stuns from Secret.
Yeah.
I think stuns.
That looked real dicey. Talk about composure. You're down 0-1. You're on the verge of elimination. Your lanes really go awry, and they somehow just stayed calm under pressure. I mean, people look at...
What do you do against PL? And Kuro has the balls to pick an Alchemist, which traditionally on paper isn't a good pick against those heroes, but they were able to play...
To just sit in a lane and farm, and ultimately I think that led to them not being able to kind of fight Liquid's lineup.
One thing that's notable to me about the last 2 games compared to each other is...
Just there, they didn't want to first pick Coddle again? I think they'll go for these Night Stalkers and the more common meta heroes for this TI.
Maybe the team who wins the coin toss takes 2nd pick?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Get that last pick?
Yeah.
This could be an option as well.
No, because Liquid should know that.
Like, both these teams rely quite a lot on these 2 players to kind of carry them forward into the late game and mid game.
Both Secret and Liquid have used their last picks. First game on Drow for mid 1, second game Alchemist for Miracle. And these heroes have been huge deciding factors.
Now down to the casters. Got you guys. It's not your turn yet.
First game 3 of the day.
Yeah, I
listened to them, and that was why they were one of the favorites coming into this tournament.
Now this is
a fight, and they're gonna be diving you early with Secret. Like, you have to survive the lanes here. Like, they just have to do anything to survive.
What kind of carry do you think Secret goes for here?
Like, they want to pick Lone Druid because that's their favorite hero, but that might be, I don't know, if it's too greedy. If
we used to see Witch Doctor, or at least I used to pick Witch Doctor a little bit against Furion because you can cask the Treants as they come in to mess with your waves, but Furions mostly just keep their Treants in lane with them nowadays.
Elimination match, lost the lanes, felt like the game might just fall apart. We asked ourselves, can a troll carry this game? Will that Cupid Light come online? Will they actually get to push? And here they are, Liquid stay alive.
I mean, this game had everything, but I think the most decisive moment, as I'm stumbling over my words, is that Roshan fight, that back and forth where Team Secret went in with a Sonic Wave. With the Eclipse, they were unable to claim the Roche after winning the fight, and then Liquid coming right back.
A tense one, but Liquid emerge here. They do stay alive. They might have a tough opponent waiting for them, Lumi. EG's taking on Empire. That could be another incredible duel. It's going to be the gauntlet Liquid has to run through.
Yeah, moving forward, I think this series has shown to other teams that even though Team Liquid won here, that they are very mortal, that they do have weaknesses, especially with their strategy in the laning stage. So I think teams are taking note, and Team Liquid moving forward, they also have to rapidly evolve in this lower bracket, or they will be...
It's almost worked in a lot of these games. Like we haven't seen GH take over all the time. Like, they've gone to the Keeper of the Light, but there are counters to that hero. He has his weaknesses, so perhaps this is something that we'll see teams exploit. But if anyone can figure out a plan B, an evolution, it's probably Heen, who's been a fantastic asset for this team to break it down further and to get us ready for a final match. It's back to Day9.
Going up against Empire. Let's bring out the men in blue. It's Team Liquid. Secret pulled a comeback in Game 3 in order to advance to here today. And as Kuroky said then, he keeps trying to bring the fire into his team. He keeps trying to make sure they stay focused and stay motivated and don't get defeated. They will
give all of your teammates movement speed and extra gold when you kill your opponents, but I think the movement speed is the main thing for
Horse track, being able to.
Bounty Hunter can also sneak behind enemy lines and place deep wards, which could potentially help him find call.
Without fear when there's a Bounty Hunter or Nyx in the game.
Beastmaster can have some laning problems up against a Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter is particularly good at getting on top of the Beastmaster because he can't really touch you without help.
And if you actually see the Linken's pop on,
than there would be without the Bounty Hunter. Also, Bounty Hunter throughout the game, he's pretty good at catching out Broodmother.
He is.
At some point in the game, you can just put a Bounty Hunter, put a gem on him.
The problem for Brood as well is that he's gonna be afraid of farming with his hero at like every camp in the jungle. So he's mostly gonna farm with his Spiderlings to not show, to not being able to show, so Bounty can track him. But that is also gonna slow down his farm by a lot.
I do like Bristle, but I'm not sure about the hero player company. If it were Super, it would be Bristle.
It'd make a lot more sense, certainly.
In terms of winning,
they could easily do like last pick AM, and they have another way to win if they want to take it late. So.
They could do a couple of different options. They have a lot of vision during the day with Caudle and Beastmaster, but it's it is kind of difficult to split push against Bounty Hunter because he places these deep wards and he finds out all the information.
For the light, GH pulling together that final finishing push.
You can just see how comfortable they are on it. It's literally like,
it's
so methodical, and it's, all right, Snowy just keep outnumbering. Mind Control died right away at the start of the fight. That was a...
And again, despite Rezo's great play, great farm, incredible start in that early mid-game, the couple of times he was caught out, didn't have buyback, very little that Weaver can do in response there. And I really think, obviously teams before this have totally said, the Keeper of the Light, you can't let Liquid have it. I think we're seeing here why. I wouldn't...
Heroes
did they ban Ancient Aberration last game?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. They'll definitely take Caudle early. They've taken Wisp early. They'll absolutely go for Night Stalker opponents in the nighttime. And Darkseer with the Iron Shell will up.
The lineups when they pick Darkseer without any of these combos just feels a bit off. So
yeah.
So it's a very good counter to make sure that you aren't afraid of the Batrider ultimate.
I think we've seen them run that support duo before too. Oracle Slardar.
Yeah. They have the Lich mid, and then they're gonna have the Darkseer and Slardar on the offlane roaming around.
Yeah, I would.
Darkseer,
yeah, it's a similar idea of picking the Lifestealer against Batrider. They pick Anti-Mage up against Darkseer, who can actually solo that lane if he needs to, and have an impact throughout. I really am. I think it's
Lena's pretty good too.
For Team Liquid.
This Huskar pick, pretty much setting the game. Some would certainly say from the start. It was such a beautiful pick there from Liquid at the end. I mean,
Lifestealer. So overall, well-rounded draft from Liquid and Empire. Just these four heroes cannot match up versus Huskar or Oracle. Anti-Mage takes too long to get online, and they're just able to siege all the buildings. Anti-Mage jumping into those heroes is also just super hard because let's say the game does get to a point where he's super farmed, he will have to deal with the fact that to do anything. They fought admirably though. That early.
As Liquid knew, with this draft, with this lineup, with this sort of play, as you say, nothing could be done there by the heroes on Empire's side. But
this team knows their strengths. They know their timings.
Last game remains today as Virtus Pro will be taking on a hype match for sure. Team Liquid, they played a game earlier this morning versus Team Empire going 2-0. There were smiles in the booths during the game, smiles afterwards, and as GH said, we're just excited that we get to play more Dota this afternoon.
I mean, this matchup is, I think, this is a game that many people are
100% you don't give it to them because both these heroes enable their cores. This team has like really high skilled core players. Beast goes PMS, and you just keep the waves constantly pushed in. And yeah, so they picked the Nyx versus the Caudle. Obviously.
So yeah, Maiden is. It usually, I think, becomes like one of these popular picks that people go back to because it's clear cut what you do with the hero.
We see pretty much all the best.
See him somewhat later on, but he's really good versus Nyx if you can steal the stun.
We emphasize a lot of like Sven and his armor, but they don't actually have that much physical damage on the side of Virtus Pro at all.
Libya has a really strong early game though. They're like laning stage into early game, and like early mid game is pretty strong. They're gonna have a lot of spells, and it might be tough because of Team Liquid. They rely kind of on their cooldown.
But they will take game one. Deserve a bit of a break before we get there. They felt really pressured. They got the kill. They got the rapier back. And they tried to go for the GG push. Is that their time? You're like, you know what, maybe I'm going to play a couple more 103-minute matches just so I can understand what I'm meant to do at this point. We almost cracked the 2-hour mark to reach the conclusion of this game, but VP, it's like they just all in.
When you reach this point, it's complete chaos, and at some point you just go on 100% gut instinct, and sometimes your instinct is right, sometimes it's wrong. That looked like VP could end the game. I think it would have been a totally different story if Nyx had routes of travel at the right time and stuff like that, but there's no... It's like we can talk about all of these details, but you have to understand the mentality of these players in these moments, or like, it's complete nuts. You can't keep track of what's happening any longer at this point.
You really can't, and that is it for...
He's going to show, because that game pretty much had it all, but Kevin, I look forward to you talking about First Blood or a team fight happened that
It's like the same thing LFY does as well with their strat. So it was kind of cool. I felt both teams
really overwhelming in the moment.
I think we were in this situation, I think, like last year versus Xeon.
Yeah.
And after we won the game, we felt like we couldn't lose, or it was...
Wind up playing these extremely long games. It's almost hard to have hope for that long in a game and then to have it ripped away from you right at the end. And Virtus.pro banning GH's two main heroes, Wisp and Coddle, and going for an Ogre Magi first.
A good thing when you just lost a long game like this.
Yeah, so they already see this is the fourth strat that Liquid has. They have their Wisp strat, they have their Coddle strat, they have their try and open it with Darkseer. So these are like the 4 strats they open with every game of this tournament that they've won. And this is the 4th one right now.
What does this provide a foundation for?
And I would love to see enemy mid be in that situation as well.
Yeah.
It's not a fun time to be in that situation, but it's a good watch, I think.
But the thing about Liquid is they don't really care how their mid-match today about Super. He plays these heroes like Dragon Knight that don't care. They're always going to get their items and farm. And the same thing like Matoma Man plays like mid-Brood Mother, heroes like that. So there's the Wyvern suddenly.
Do you think the Death Prophet last game was an example of that?
Yeah, and I think that's what we've seen in a few games in this tournament. The hero has looked a little bit underwhelming, but I do like the synergy. That
both of their supports are lane secure more than like being scary of the map.
I think this is a no one Queen of Pain pick soon.
So it's an Invoker for Miracle. They have right now, because this Invoker is going to be a problem at one point. Because no matter how hard you pressure the hero in the game, if your team is playing around you, like it's really easy for Invoker to...
Here, this game.
It's a pretty bad Ursa game.
I think he just wants something to solo the Sanking. I'm not sure what else there is.
Yeah, you want to have a core that can just pretty much sustain all alone.
I can see a Brood Mother incoming right now.
For Sanking?
I think so. I don't know. It seems
I don't know about
Brood game, man.
I don't know about Brood this game. I think just they just need something to solo the Sanking.
What if they put Brood mid? I don't know. They're crazy.
Oh, they could. Oh.
Do you think VP are going to help their Sanking, or you think they're just going to leave him alone?
I think they will do Ogre, Viper mid, Necrophos versus Darkseer, and Dazzle Sanking. It's like the old Dazzle Sanking from like last year before TI, like Wings and Na'Vi did this like Sanking plus Dazzle, Sanking plus Chen. If you remember before TI6, I think they're just going to do the same. Like Sanking plus Dazzle, really strong lane. But the Caustic did get nerfed quite a bit. But so it accomplishes it. You just push the wave in, so they can't pull on their supports. But Liquid doesn't ever really pull on their supports, so yeah.
So Sumail, it sounds like you think the story of this match is, can Virtus.pro shut down the Invoker? And if the answer is yes, they'll probably win quickly. And if no, Team Liquid will be able to sustain in the late game.
I wouldn't say that exactly, because even if they like shut him down, they have a lot of team fight on Liquid. Like they pick Faceless too. So it's really, really difficult for VP to go
tanky heroes with the backline keeping them alive. And even with all of this, they maybe get themselves something like the AA or something.
A hero on the sideline for over a minute. Every time that gank worked from Virtus.pro, it opened up the opportunities for VP to push into the buildings. Time and time again, this VP lineup, they were looking for early game aggression, and they were able to achieve it. Team Liquid, no big answer. Maybe that's another time when you look at the Liquid heroes. A Darkseer, a hero the panel been flagging as being like one of that defensive heroes, takes too long to farm up. Where was that damage coming in from the Faceless Void? Invoker could never come online, and having all the lanes go poorly for them, apart from maybe a little bit of the extra farm for them.
Tell us about your secret scrim knowledge, Bobo.
No, I don't think. I think Miracle's played it before, but
okay. Our Team Liquid will adjust. We saw the Ogre Magi picked first, which kind of immediately signals that there's a wish to pressure lanes. And the Winter Wyverns
have to win the lanes, or they have to be fine. They can't lose the lanes this badly, because they didn't get to play that game, you know? it was just a constant battle of trying to
go to any lane. Like, I know all three of their cores play this Void. I've seen no one play Void mid. I've seen Pasha play Void off lane. I've seen Ramses play Void carry. So right like this, because I feel Shaker is a very good hero versus Void. Throughout the game, like Void will buy Linken's, you know, if he's like a carry. But Shaker is like one of the few heroes in Dota that has a stun that doesn't carry.
Can they get to that Blink Dagger? Like, how much can the Slaughter accomplish with these heroes? Because none of these heroes are super strong in the lane stage, and this Prophet can apply a lot of pressure together with Shaker early on.
Yeah. VP's draft, I see blue heroes, and I'm like...
It's a very purple... The team as a whole, how would you evaluate Team Liquid's strengths right now?
I think Team Liquid, they have a pretty cool lineup because they can kind of pressure early on. This Prophet, he applies a lot of pressure to carry them through the early game so that they can get to this Blink Dagger of Slaughter. And
with AA and Faceless...
It's the real replay.
We did it, boys. Nice!
Oh, looked a little more...
It was
how to say it? Came together. GH, clutch moments with the Shaker. Miracle obviously finding a lot of farm on the anti-mage and gave them a key kill. They found courier snipes. They got down towers. They got the Roshans, and eventually showed some great Dota.
That they did. They had a fantastic run. They managed to get their way through LGD. They got knocked down by LFY, who obviously are looking in superb form. We had a terrific game from that series. They dropped down, but that is where their run will end. Team Liquid, we thought their run was going to be hard. 2-1 out by Invictus Gaming. Then they had to go up against Secret, up against Team Empire, and now they bring down the second CIS team. Empire and Virtus Pro, both removed by Team Liquid, but it's the fashion, it's the style that Team Liquid did it. Everyone thought Liquid could be a grand final team. They thought maybe it would be an entire winners bracket run for Team Liquid, that they could go the whole way. And they have proven themselves. They really have. Their coordination, their team play, it's really back to where we thought it was going to be at the start of this tournament. It's coming late, but it is here. Team Liquid will bet
this match quite a bit. It is the last non-Chinese team, Team Liquid, going up against the Superstars LGD. Let's bring out the boys in blue, Team Liquid.
Really going to, or like deferring to that Necrophosis, even like first two now.
So what you can see here already, you have this Magnus that's most likely going to be off lane, and the Necrophos on Matumba, man, you could also go mid, but they're...
Wow. GH all smiles in the booth.
I think the crazy thing to remember was that LGD were just getting wrecked of Matumba, man. So many Reaper side kills from him.
At least 3 or 4 times. Teams fall into that trap of wanting too free of a win from the drafting and not just focused on doing it.
Might actually give you an advantage in the draft rather than... Every team wants to win in the draft. Like, that's the goal. The game is very much about strategy. It's very much about the heroes that you pick.
I thought we'd seen more of Beastmaster. It's a hero. You're going to pick your carry. It's pretty risky, right? It's just going to get countered. Or you're going to pick your mid. It's very risky.
Yeah, most people go support. Gives them one more pick to see.
And this is when usually EG here, it means that they already know what they want to get with it. Most likely Dazzle, I would say. It's not a hero that LGD can pick. And
pretty decent, but not so good versus the Earthshaker and Veno right now. Huskar just has way too much survivability versus their first 3 picks, even a decent amount versus Death Prophet. So
LGD down, 1 pick at a time. And the last pick, Brewmother, you just saw how, you know, LGD were just like, we have to put DP in a safe lane, we have to put Timber. They didn't flat out lose in the lanes, but overall the gaming strategy just didn't go their way. They were pressured the whole game. And finally, that Matumba Man split push.
A little Parmesan, and a big win. But it seemed like Liquid just so just on top of their game when it came to the draft.
Yeah. A question that was proposed during the panel was, does Liquid have the advantage of moving the drafting phase? The Wisp, the Shaker, but let's not forget about the Brewmother.
All smiles, all hugs.
What do you do with $2 million as a Dota player?
Is about to get underway. Our first team seems legendary. Team Liquid.
4 core players playing this like incredibly hard position 5 and just enabling them to do the things.
A lot of the heavy physical damage, Magnus, and other strats that we've seen coming out from Nice.
We've seen a little bit of Bristleback, but the games where Bristleback has failed, I feel Puck could easily go to any lane though.
LFY's turn to pick.
LFY is really targeting
Earth Spirit.
One of the most notable plays of the tournament coming out from him with the Aegis steal. It's pretty.
I can jump in and kill one of them straight away with Infest Bomb.
Yeah, GH, exactly.
Dodge the Rupture.
I think you'll almost always get the jump on the Bloodseeker rather than the other way around, though. I think with the Lifestealer, it's pretty nice.
Pushed out of what they have been mostly comfortable playing.
Yeah, most of the time.
As heroes, it would pair decently well with the Bloodseeker in terms of like what carries you need to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've got a ban here, and then they have to pick immediately, and they've got to think. What hero what's another hero we want up against Lifestealer, or do we already have enough with the Bloodseeker? They could still go for
Team Liquid's turn to LFY's.
All right, Lone Druid.
Despite being down so much, we still see the Matumba Man, Aghanim Scepter Bearer able to actually
class 10, 15 minutes
at all. Also, that was so many BOTs in that game. The puck getting the Lucher. They do. I feel like the Miracle Bloodseeker just got neutered super hard in the early game. He did have his huge impact as he turned level 25, but
they are someone like that on my team in my pubs. You watch Inflame play and you go, Inflame has just been sensational.
In that mid game and really like cemented them headed into the late game.
He has so much responsibility, dude. That's a.
It's actually quite common that like Nikes is usually like for too long inside the puck, and then he's
a little too long. Maybe I should pop out.
And then you like get into this state where like, but I have been in
all around the map. Can play incredibly fast. And Liquid can have
struggles to get levels with the change in the jungle that happened a few months ago.
Yeah, she's a little bit slower, but you know, people feel like the aura is still good enough to pick the hero, and I agree. I like the hero. I'm a little. I guess what I really like from Liquid is that their combination together. Usually it's one or two of these. They didn't really get all of them together too much this tournament, and
a deciding game 3.
Really vulnerable. Alchemist doesn't really care that much. And
Prophet is also quite hard to counter because he can actually like TP to lane.
Either LFY take Furion or Earthshaker for themselves. Great versus Morphling.
TA suffers a lot versus Bat.
Accuracy.
Yeah, certainly that.
Siphon.
Yeah. Also being able to run around and put your ultimate on the
At the same time, DP is good in the sense that she can actually like get health from her Siphon spirits.
Yeah.
So when Venomancer is using all of his spells and the Spirit Breaker charges in on you, you like can just drop 4 of them.
It's tough. It's tough to gank Death Prophet as Spirit Breaker because you're always just gonna get siphoned up.
Yeah.
They still go with the Alchemist? What do you think?
I don't like it so much versus Morphling.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, what else do they have?
I'm trying to think.
Well, it looks like Team Liquid also struggling with the final pick.
I think you just go for it. You know, Game 3, lower bracket finals, TI7. Stick to your guns.
It's gonna put pressure on LFY. At least if they pick the Alchemist, they're gonna be pressured from this last game that they're gonna have to shut him down.
One thing you don't want to do is put Miracle on a hero that he's not incredibly comfortable with.
Terrorblade.
Terrorblade, all right.
Trumbles under the pressure.
Wow. Hugs in the booth, Liquid erupt, and so does Key Arena. They are going to the grand, a full best of 5. A TI champion. You can scratch that one. Liquid have done it. But it's not over yet.
Can they do it once more?
Can they do it again? Can they do it in a BO5 against a newbie who's gotten a lot of extra film on them? Can they go the distance? This could be an 8-game day. They might be playing Dota until darkness falls here in Seattle. They're going to be very frustrated they couldn't go all the way.
Yeah, remember Monet was on bottom 3 net worth, slowly crept up. What a long, amazing defense for LFY, but ultimately, Team Liquid was just a little bit too ahead, a little bit too strong.
Hugs from Coach Heen and of course manager Mo. They've got a tall task.
The teams are ready to come out. So, ladies and gentlemen, Team Liquid fans, newbie fans, get ready to make some noise. Going against them will be a team that has secured 5 wins in a row in the lower bracket. They're no strangers to esports. They are Team Liquid. Team Liquid, not just a legendary name in Dota, but a legendary name in esports, from Brood War to StarCraft 2 to Smash Melee. They've got it all. Community sites, some of the greatest articles in the entire internet written by the Team Liquid teams. And the one thing that has eluded them, the Aegis for their own.
It's gonna be epic, like either way, how this goes. If Newbie wins. It's going to be Newbie who gets the Aegis twice, like the
range of championships from Western teams to Eastern teams, alternating back and forth without fail. I just want to repeat out loud who they've gone through. 2-1 against Secret, 2-0 against Empire, 2-1 against Virtus Pro, 2-0 against LGD, and now 2-1 against LFY in order to go up against Newbie. Only DC was the other team able to eliminate a Chinese.
Instead of going for the throne, none of those heroes had buyback. We saw a couple teams, we saw Virtus Pro make that mistake in their series versus Liquid, which costed them their road here at the International. And I imagine we're going to have a tournament finals. These EU teams are the worst.
Bloodseeker paired with Earth Spirit every single game that Newbie played in the winners bracket finals. You know, I want to ask a little bit about the bans that we're seeing out of Newbie, but we have Tidehunter banned right away from Team Liquid.
I think it's because Newbie has been playing a lot around their team fight, and Tide is one of the best heroes to team fight.
Either. Yeah, it can be very hard to gank this Lifestealer.
We've seen this sort of strengths, their weaknesses.
Well, their strengths is that they haven't lost a series yet in this main event.
And Batrider can also find kills on Prophet and Lich, at least.
Yeah. The CM auras can be incredibly helpful for their team, especially in the early game.
2 lanes of frags. Liquid showed the lower bracket matchup.
Let's focus on him, and like, if you shut him down, I think the games are gonna be like a bit less difficult for
position 1, position 2 roles. But Mind Control right in the middle has been one of the highest impact players here. Crit in your mind.
I think I agree with Simon on this. He might still be the MVP, to me at least. I think a big part of it is something Peter mentioned earlier, was that
with Earth Spirit, well actually he always does. He's always incredible. And then, oh, look at this. Nature's Prophet, Wisp, first ban from Newbie. Think we're going to see Coddle out of Liquid?
This is a straight up counter to Legion Commander, because you want to duel and burst someone, but that just graves you.
Oh, of course.
And so the entire duration of duel is a bit
I think what's going to happen is that they're going to put this Venomancer on those layers, and I think they're scared of picking them, like getting a bad matchup mid. But when you have Queen of Pain, the chances of you having a good matchup is
10 seconds.
I guess it's one of the finest heroes to put mid against Liquid, because they like to rotate.
Yeah, they like to play around mid, so it's good to have a mobile hero there.
Last ban.
Dominating, ripping apart Newbie at the seams in game 2.
It's been so beautiful to watch how Liquid were one game away from eliminating in this main event with the most draft victories in this given picks. They have so many tricks and aces up their sleeve that they can use. And it just seems like these...
earlier, because they, like as we said, they actually had quite a good early game. You have to choose your poison, actually.
I mean, you're going to have to choose it fast if you are Newbie. You can see both teams are heading back out onto the stage. It has been minutes. They knocked down all 3 towers, all 3 tier 1s. And Team Liquid actually clawed their way back into the game. And I think you said it best, Fly.
Yeah, they have a lot of choices here. I mean, they choose the hero that's going to set them up for the whole strategy right now. It could be anything, really.
Yeah. The Venomancer is a quite good pick against Shaker, though.
For the towers against Rasta and Veno. He also doesn't enjoy being pushed over by these heroes early. The
Alchemist gets out right away.
Tide ban. Okay, Liquid. I mean, they kind of know what they want already. You can tell by the way they're banning, like...
Lane or something that you really don't want to
This
have.
is where Mind Control will shine.
We've seen Huskar picked up a lot by Team Liquid. You think
it's towers, he can carry, he gives you the objectives. It's enough.
Liquid will be the first team in the history of the International to whitewash the Grand Final. 3-0 victory over Newbie.
They have been absolutely fantastic over the last few days. Liquid, they were so close to elimination like 2 or 3 times in a row. And Rio, those pretty convincing wins for the most part. Just a clearly better team. Big congratulations.
You thought the run could have been over. They were knocked down in the quarterfinals by Invictus Gaming. They did the hard road all the way through the lower bracket. They fought all the way up into the grand final, taking out in the lower bracket final LFY at the start of today. A team which everyone thought their play in the group stage was beyond contest. They kept fighting, then up against Newbie. A 3-0 victory, styled from all round. Team Liquid, we thought they could claim the Aegis of the champions, and they're about to do exactly that. Your champions of the International 2017 is Team Liquid.
Liquid are no longer doing it. Liquid have done it. Your 2017 international champions are Team Liquid. Kuroky, I'm gonna find you. Congratulations. Kuroky, every TI, every international, 7 of them. This one is yours. How does it feel?
Feels good. I'm planning to come here again next year and stay here again.
Defend your title.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot to process. I'm going to let you do just that. Matu, how heavy is that Aegis?
Yeah, you know, it actually feels pretty good. I'm totally speechless. Wow.
Hey, GH. It wasn't that long ago you were running around on pub servers. Your first TI, and you lift the trophy. Make it up for GH. How does it feel, dude? How does it feel? You are a TI champion. You are one of the best 5 players to play Dota 2 at this moment.
Well, let me tell you something. The feeling is surreal. I just couldn't accept it at first. I still can't. I can't accept it right now. I need some time.
Why don't we remind them, guys? Team Liquid, 2017 international champions. You guys are going to go and party. You have got the best night ahead of you. You've had the best day. I'll let the audience say the rest. It's never been done before. 3-0. 3-0 grand finals. Team Liquid, your champions. One more time, raise the roof of the Key Arena. Team Liquid.
Team Liquid had an unbelievable path to the finals, beating Secret, Empire, Virtus Pro, LGD, LFY, and now in the finals, 3-0 against Newbie. Just remarkable.
Amazing run, really.
Unstoppable. Best team in the world.
It's crazy to think that going into the finals, they came from lowers, and yet they so clearly were the dominant team in drafting and execution. When they were behind, they were able to pull back. When they had a good opening, they were able to close it out.
Their run this year kind of reminded me of their run this tournament. They struggled a lot at TI6, and they were pretty good before that, and they were at the bottom. They didn't even qualify for the next major, and slowly and steadily they've been building back up, and finally this is their pinnacle. This is what Kuro's been putting tens of thousands of hours into.
Gosh, 7 TIs of waiting, and finally, the Aegis. I mean, what a turnaround in the middle of that game, that fight. I mean, if Miracle was just a little bit lower on health.
That DD Rune as well, like he was two shot in the center, I think, like killing him with 2 crits, and he's like super fast as well to use his diffuser blade when the opponents use the Yules.
Even if they didn't win that game, they would have won the next one. Liquid is by far the best team here, and Kuroky is such an impressive captain. All these new guys, very, very young. GH's first TI ever, first place. It's I can't even imagine what those guys are feeling.
It's just incredible to think how versatile their hero lineup was. You could see in every single game how much practice was there. GH, he hasn't lost a game with Earthshaker in ages, as far as it feels. And I mean, we didn't even see his Wisp today. Who do you ban against them? It doesn't matter. Team Liquid always seem to have an answer, except for how to open this champagne bottle. That's going to be a real challenge.
This is going to be fun to see.
Champagne bottles are always a tricky thing in esports.
Why don't they just give him, like, you know, sparkling water, something with a screw-off cap? Let's see if Team Liquid can be the first team in all of esports to successfully open the champagne. He can't open it.
They can win 3-0 in the grand finals, but they can't open a champagne bottle. There we go.
He just holds it as it spills onto his hand. Yeah, right from the bottle. There it is.
I mean, hey, you do.
I have power.
I'm not gonna do this. I can't do it. You should do it. MC.
Is it good, MC? No. Can you twist this for me? Twist it. Yeah, exactly like that.
Well, as the players have demonstrated, they're the best Dota team in the world. But you know, it's you gotta understand those caps on those champagne bottles. I mean, how could they have prepared for this?
It's tough.
I know. I know. You know, PPD. I know you've won a TI. Talk to me about the technique of opening the champagne.
You don't need to open your own champagne anymore. You can afford someone else to do it for you.
Why do you have 2 bottles?
Because you're gonna get drunk tonight.
Yeah, Kuroky's gonna celebrate, man.
No, I'm fine.
As they should. It's been a long year. Hasn't been easy. Liquid has not been the best team all year. They just happen to be the best team at this tournament.
How long does it take to set in?
This way, so open a hole, please.
I mean, I don't know. This moment will change their lives forever, and they'll never forget it. So,
I think a day, like, until you actually like understand what you have done and that you actually won TI and can start to comprehend what actually happened.
Yeah, I mean, your body, your mind has been completely focused, programmed. They're like, oh God, not more champagne. Yeah, no. Look, we're not going to give you any prize money unless you can each open a champagne bottle successfully.
Pretty sure they're going to play Dota tomorrow.
Yeah.
As is everybody else here.
Yeah, I mean, one of the greatest treats about the end of TI is that you get to go home and play Dota. It is like the most exciting moment because you have all the ideas, all the strategies in your head. You saw the pros do them.
Yep. TI may have come to an end, but tomorrow is the start of the new season.
Ooh.
It's going to be a big one for Dota this year. I'm very optimistic about what's the future for Dota holds.
Gosh, Team Liquid as an organization has so many championships. Now they get to also say they have a Dota 2 TI win under their belts. Just incredible.
They picked a good captain.
Yeah.
Kuroky, you know, he's been here for 7 years. He's yet to take home the Aegis. He's finally got a roster that he believes in. His team believes in him. And they managed to make it work.
And again, there's no TI winner twice, right?
Yep, no TI winner twice.
Yeah.
Your,
oh, yeah. All right.
Your little Dota anecdotes.
First pick, Viper. Hey, second pick, Jungle Bloodseeker. I'm out.
You're the boss, man.
I'm out. Out. Dude, it's hard to even think of a weak link in the...
We are just about to have them coming out of the elevator now. The doors are about to open. And when they do, we don't know how slow this elevator is, but we're going to find out. What's going to be really cool is there are fans already lining up on the red carpet outside. So this will be really their first chance to be up close and personal with their fans, to thank them in person. And we're wondering how much it's all really been sinking in. Here they are. Coming out, coming out. All right, guys. How's it going?
That sounds nice.
Look at all your fans.
Yeah.
What do you want to say to all of them right now?
Oh, just a sec. Oh, all right.
We're going to kill you first, and then we'll...
Thank you for the support. I appreciate you coming here and stuff. Yeah. No, that's.
Oh, you were telling him what to say, but actually that was
what to say. No, fine.
I just want to say thanks to all the fans and the family, friends who believed in us. Of course, we appreciate it. I just want to say that thanks for believing in us throughout all this journey. We had some rough patches, but we're here now, so I'm pretty happy about it.
And now you're very deserving of the red carpet, so I'm going to let you come out this way. I'm going to follow you because I should never walk in front of champions. No, but after you, sir. Okay, he's insisting that at least I'm behind Kuro. That makes me feel a little bit better. All right, guys, here you go. Your TI champions, guys, right here. Come on, give them some love. Here they are. What are you thinking right now? I mean, has it all had a chance to sink in now that you're seeing all this?
I'm not. I just can't realize that we won the final.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And by the way, in a good fashion. What about you? Is it sinking in?
Slowly. But, you know, being number one feels goddamn great.
Do you want to talk to some of your fans over here?
This guy looks nice.
Dude,
Can you please hold it?
Yeah. On my hand.
Did you say hold my hand or on?
On my hand.
Okay, good.
Dude, this guy
This
the man.
guy.
He's the man.
Right?
Oh my God. TI winner. $10 million. Holy hell.
Hold yourself.
US dollars.
Catch up with your. I'm slowing you down. All right, here we go. We're running. How do you even have the energy now, man?
I mean, it was a quick one.
Did you expect it to be that quick?
Oh no, I thought the newbies actually gonna give us a lot more effort beating them, but I don't know. It's just I'm so focused in Dota that I don't know what to say. I just focus on the games, and now it feels kind of empty inside actually, because like the games ended and like I have no purpose anymore.
What's next, right?
Yeah, I mean, what's next? It's like I was so happy playing these games, but like now there's like I don't know.
Well, now you have to defend your title.
I mean, next year, yeah, but in the moment, I feel empty hands. What can I say?
I know. Well, you guys have earned this. I hope you guys get a chance to let it sink in. Take a look. Look at all these fans. Get in there with your teammates.
Hey, can I also get a selfie?
Okay, thank you.
Hey guys, get a selfie. Thank you. 3, 2, 1.
You're the champion. You're the best.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. You've been playing really well.
Pleasure. All case in there.
Hey, yeah. Thank you.
They're being surrounded by fans. They deserve it. They're finally getting exactly what they came here for. I can't even imagine. You guys, we got to get you into your limo. Yeah, I got to tell you, there are a lot of vehicles out here. Let's see if we can find you your limo. You guys, can we get one more round of applause for your TI champs? What's next? What are you going to do tonight to celebrate?
I don't know. We're very tired. Long day.
I told you I'd give you enough time to prep for the last series.
Yeah, thank you.
As you left, I thought if they lose, it's going to be on me.
No, we had enough time. I think they gave us some more time, so that was nice.
Congratulations to all of you guys. Your
Thank you very
TI
much.
champs. Congratulations, you guys. They have to go party it up now.